Well, good morning, everybody. Had a good night's rest at the Siler's Bald shelter, and I left a little bit before daylight. It's not even 7 o'clock yet, and I've hiked a mile. So we've got a pretty big day today. This is the biggest day that I will have in terms of mileage since I restarted my hike. So it's a 17.6 mile today, but the terrain is not terrible. We're headed out of the Smokies now, so the Smokies, the center point there at Kauai is kind of the pinnacle, right? That's the highest point, and then generally, whether you're going south or you're going north, from there, you're going to be headed downhill. So we're generally headed downhill, but today's filled with little ups and downs. So we'll go down 200 feet and we'll climb up 300 feet. We'll go down 300 feet and climb 200 feet. So there's lots of these little ups and downs, nothing too extreme, but it does create some work. That's all right. So that's what I'm facing today, but we're headed to a shelter called Molly's Ridge Shelter. And once we stay there, that'll be the last night out. It's been I don't know if I've stayed 5 nights out in a row for this entire hike until now. So this will be my 5th night out. I look forward to a shower and washing clothes and maybe shaving. And my wife will pick me up tomorrow at Fontana Marina, which will be about a 13-mile hike tomorrow to get there. And I told her I'll be there by 1 o'clock. So I'm gonna get up early and really press to get that done. But yeah, that's the plan for today, and also a little bit about tomorrow. So looking forward to knocking her down. We're making good progress, and don't foresee any reasons why we can't complete this part of the plan. So that said, let's head on down the trail, and I'll look forward to updating you as we make our progress, and if we see anything cool, I'll be the first one to share it with you. Have an awesome day. All right, everybody, we're about 6 miles into the hike today, leaving us a little over 11 miles to go, but it's only 10 o'clock, so we've got time, plenty of time to get it done. But I have to admit that this kind of undulating up and down terrain will wear on you a little bit, You get to climb, and then you're going down pretty steep, and then you're going up pretty steep. Not for long, either way, but it's just over and over and over. And as you can see on the trail, this is the trail. It's in bad need of some grooming, I would say. It's really covered up with weeds. I hope I don't end up with a bunch of chiggers. I haven't had chiggers since I was a kid, I guess. I don't know. These chiggers still survived. Still, they haven't been completely eliminated. But if I'm gonna get chiggers, it'll be from today, walking through these weeds, for sure. And I have been digging into blackberries a little bit too, even again today. But they seem to be fading. Yesterday was a good blackberry crop. Not so much today. But we're gonna keep on pressing on for another 11 miles. We'll get to that shelter, settle in, and plan out the next day. So I hope everybody's having a great day so far, and we'll check back with you a little further down this weedy path. All right, everybody, we're headed downhill. It's a pretty sharp little downhill. Always don't look forward to going down hills like this, because you know that as soon as you get to the bottom, there's going to be a very similar uphill that you're going to have to do. And I think that's going to be the case here in just a few minutes. As I stated earlier, this hike today has been made up of a lot of ups and downs. Most of them not too dramatic, 200, 300 feet elevation changes. Not too bad. However, late in the afternoon, we're faced with two of the toughest ones. And the toughest of the two we have left is coming up first. And it's a 700-foot elevation gain. And we're going up to Thunderhead Mountain. Sounds tough, doesn't it? Thunderhead Mountain. So we'll go up there, and then it's Thunderhead Mountain's at 5,500 feet. So, I mean, think about that, 5,500 feet. That's taller than a lot of the mountains in the Whites. So it's no joke, that's for sure. We've got some work to do here. And so the thing about it too is these trails really don't do a lot of switching back, they're just kind of going up the hill. So that's what we're about to face here in just a few minutes. Some climbing up to Thunderhead Mountain. I like saying it. And then from there, it drops off a little bit and you go to the top of Rocky Top Mountain. Now, is this the famed Rocky Top for Rocky Top, Tennessee? I don't know. For sure. I'd hate to make that statement. Someone from Tennessee called me out on it. I don't know. It might, considering where it's setting, it might even be setting in North Carolina. I don't know. I'd like to think it's in Tennessee. But nevertheless, we'll go across Rocky Top. And then we go down, and then we'll be faced with our second big climb of the day. And we'll talk more about that climb when we get to it. But this is the worst of the two once we get down far enough to start. And once we get over that, we'll think about the other stuff later. Okay, have a great day, and we'll catch up with you here soon. All right, folks. Don't always get to see through the trees, but today we got a little bit of glimpse of where we're going. I'm pretty sure up on top of that ridge right there is Thunderhead Mountain. And we've got to drop down, I don't know, maybe another 100 feet before we get started. Then we'll be climbing up to get to the top of that one. And see if we got a peek around the corner. Can't say we do. Shucks. Let's hope we might have a view of the top of Rocky Top. But I don't think we're going to be able to see through these trees, but we will. We'll get a glimpse of it by the time we get up there. Good news is we might have some views once we get up there. I don't want to make any promises. It is a little bit cloudy and overcast, but we should have some closer in views. Anyway, we'll see. All right, everybody, that's where we came from. And this is where we're going. We got some climbing to do. I have to say this 700-foot climb has been a lot easier than I expected it might be, because the folks who developed this trail put in a lot of switchbacks. So you're still climbing, but the elevation gain for every step is not nearly as bad as this right here, I can tell you, because we're going pretty steep right here. But I don't think we're going to go very far. One thing I found that worked for me early on when I had a pretty steep climb is I would set a step count. I'd say, okay, I'm going to do 100 steps without stopping, because your mind will tell you, or your body will tell you, that you need to stop. And you'll stop every 30 seconds if you let yourself. But if you say, hey, I'm gonna go 100 steps without stopping, or make it 50 or 25 or whatever you feel comfortable with, you'll find that you will make really great progress just pushing through the desire to stop. That's your body's kind of screaming at you. But once you kind of train your body, hey, you only got 20 more steps or 15 or 10, then you can find that you can push on to get those extra few steps. So that's what's worked for me in the past. And it's probably gonna work for me again right now in the future. All right, that's where we came from. And that's where we're going. And according to the app, I have made it to the top of Thunderhead Mountain. I know I promised the potential for views, but right now we are completely surrounded in laurel, or rhododendron. So it's kind of cool, but at the same time, it'd be nice to be able to look off the side there somewhere. Looks like I'd cut out a notch so you could find a place to peer out. But we're just 5,500 feet to the top of a laurel mountain, it looks like. And now we're already started back down, maybe. Well, if any views open up here on top of top of this mountain, then I'll certainly stop and show them to you. I don't remember them last time I came through. I do remember the potential for some pretty good views off of Rocky Top if it's clear. So we'll see. Wait, look, there might be a clearing right down here. So let's just go down here together and see if we can check it out real quick. Wish I could find some more blackberries. I've eaten a lot of blackberries. They're organic. Okay, it's clearing a little bit, but I just still don't know if we're gonna have much views. So what we are getting is a quick view right there. I believe that is through that cloud that's kind of rising is Rocky Top. So yeah, not a lot more to offer here from Thunderhead. There we go. There's cleared up a bit. That's where we're headed, guys. We're going to get over there and check it out. Wished I was on good old Rocky Top. Rocky Top, Tennessee. This is Rocky Top, y'all. Properly named, I would say. And I have been told that you have some really good views from here if the weather cooperates. And unfortunately, it's exactly the same as it was last time I was here. Kind of puffy and cloudy. It's kind of hard to predict, honestly. There's no weather in the forecast today in terms of storms. It's just these clouds just hang low. But you're not really low, you just feel like you are. We just came off the mountains over there where we were over 6,000 feet, 6,600. And of course, when we were over on Thunderhead, that was at 5,500. I have to check the elevation on this one. I want to say it's around 5,000. So I just think when you get above 5,000, the weather can be pretty unpredictable. And I think that's what we're up against here today. Every now and then you get a shot through the clouds, but not much. All right. Say goodbye to good old Rocky Top. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Well, I know I said that there was going to be no rain in the forecast for today. We just had a pretty good downpour, and of course I broke out my rain gear. My trusty umbrella, which I found in Pennsylvania, worked very well for me. So we still have 4.5 miles to the shelter that we're targeting. There is another shelter at 1.5 miles, and it's a pretty nice shelter. I've actually stayed at that shelter before. But that would leave us with a 16-mile tomorrow if we stop there. We got to press on, and if I hope to make it to the pickup point on time, need to go to that other shelter at 4.5 miles. So that's the plan, and you know, I think the terrain's going to be great from here. Actually, for the next 3 miles, we're going to have some really good terrain. So I'm going to try to make up some time. And then the last 1.5 miles, call it, is I've got that 700-foot climb, and then a little bit of a downhill to get to that other shelter. So that's what I'm looking at. Just going to have to press on, and hopefully the rain's almost stopped now, so maybe I can put my umbrella up and I can really get after it. All right, we'll check back with you as we make progress. All right, folks, we're 1.4 miles from the shelter. Look how grown up this trail is. But as I've been saying, I got one big hill to climb. That's it. We got to get up the top of that bad boy. So I'm hopeful, I'm sure there's going to be some level of switchbacks here. We're not going to go straight up it. So let's press on. Get ourselves to the Molly's Ridge shelter. All right, everybody. We have reached our destination. That is Molly's Ridge shelter. Sits up there so pretty, down it, amongst those trees. Molly's Ridge shelter. Big day today, guys. 17.6 miles. That's as much as I've done in a long time. Seems like probably, yeah, it's been a while. I don't know. Particularly after taking time off, it seems like a long time. But I held up okay. We had some easy parts and we had some tough climbs. These are the bear cables where you would hang your food and then you pull your food up to that top. So a bear can't reach it. So it works very effectively. All right, everybody, there's a couple people already in the shelter, so I'm not gonna do any more videoing from here. But hope everybody's had a great day. I'm gonna get in here and pull some food out and start getting up to the relaxation stage. And we'll look forward to seeing y'all first thing in the morning. Hey there, little fella.
A little bit too close.
Get on up out here. He understands redneck.